Hey everybody, welcome back to Record-ology. Check out my shirt. If you like The Office, you will recognize this. What in the world does that have to do with vinyl? Wow, I really need to get my hair cut. Well, stay tuned, you're not gonna wanna miss this.
Welcome to Record-ology.
Well, it has to do with this record, actually. This is Soft Lights and Bobby Hackett on Capitol Records. This is a unique record for a number of reasons. I want to point out, first of all, the Glenn Miller connection. So Bobby Hackett was in the original Glenn Miller Orchestra, so he is alumni of the GMO and went out on his own and had a very prolific career. This is probably a minor entry amongst the others, but this is a 10-inch record. I don't really have anything right here that I can, show you for scale, but that is a 10-inch record sleeve, and inside is actually nothing because I already have the record on the record player, which we'll look at and listen to in a minute. But check out the artwork. I just love this. I love this. The date on this is somewhere between 49 and 63. I'll explain why I'm able to make that assessment in a minute. It has nothing to do with Discogs. I didn't look it up. If you do, let me know down in the comments below and let me know exactly. I would guess this is probably 55 to 60 if I had to guess. There are 8 songs on here. So these 10-inch LPs are kind of like what you would consider a modern day EP. Now, not talking about the technical definition of an EP, especially from the sense of vinyl, but in the sense of a limited release of music that is, more so than a single, but not quite a full album. You do get 8 songs on this and others. I picked up a number of these recently, which we're going to be looking at some interesting records over the next few days. This is the first of those entries, and we'll just kind of discover it. I don't want to research the heck out of it before I film these shows, because I like to learn from you and I like to kind of, discover it together. This is H458, Soft Lights, and Bobby Hackett. And it was 95 cents at 2nd and Charles, so you really can't beat it. There's a picture of old Bobby. That really dates it there, because, he would have been a kid in the Glenn Miller Orchestra, which would have been, 38 to 42-ish. So I'm guessing this is probably 60 to 62-ish. And he blew a mellow horn, as they say, but he is famous for playing the cornet, not just the trumpet. So pretty cool stuff there. And this is a Capitol long playing 33 RPM. And this was, in an era where they were still, describing, can I play this on my, it's kind of like the VHS-C format, where it was kind of a, an evolution of a previous format, and people weren't sure, can I play this on my old VCR? Yes, you can, you just need this adapter. In the case of these 33 records, they're completely compatible, even though they are 10-inch. If you have an automatic changer, then you need to consider how you're going to do that, because you'd have to do it in manual mode on an automatic record changer, or if yours has a 10-inch setting, then you're all good to go. This is a manual turntable. We just looked at it the other day. But what does this have to do with my shirt? Besides the fact that it's purple and my shirt's purple. But there is something that ties this record to the show The Office. And by the way, just talking to somebody about this today, I think you can only see The Office on Netflix now. We have Hulu, we have Disney Plus, and obviously YouTube, but we don't pay for Netflix, which is a bummer because I've only made it up to like the 4th. Actually, no, I think I made it up to the 6th season of The Office. I'm not 100% sure. All right, enough babbling. What are you talking about? Well, look at this right here in the dead wax. See that symbol right there? That is supposedly an anvil. And what that is a plant marking. So Capitol Records, yes, this is Capitol Records, had a record pressing plant in Scranton, and this was pressed in Scranton. That was their marking for the Scranton plant, except for a brief period in 1959 when there was a strike and they farmed it out, but that's another story for another day. This record is very well loved. I don't know, was it well loved or just well played? Because if it was well loved, it would still be in pretty good shape. That being said, up there, you can still see some polish, some of that rainbow sheen. It is very playable. This is a great record for playing on a unit like this that may track a little heavier than, you know, another type of record player. But it doesn't matter because this record is rough and tumble and will do just fine. So let's go ahead and listen to a little Bobby Hackett here. I don't want to turn it up too loud. There's stereo speakers down there. It's got the crackle, but I like the crackle. I mean, I didn't buy this thinking there wouldn't be. To me, that's part of the charm of a record like this, is the crackle and the nostalgia, the story that it can tell you. And you may be asking yourself, how in the world would a record tell a story? Well, by dating it, by, you know, finding where this record was at a certain time, like we were just doing. I think that's fun. To me, that's the real archaeology aspect of it. To be able just to, you know, get something off the shelf that somebody else wasn't interested in keeping, something that has value to you, understanding the story of the people involved, appreciating the artwork, the music, and the particulars of a certain release. Things like the Scranton mark on the dead wax there to place. And by the way, I don't know if I said this or not, but that plant was in operation from 49 to 63. So that would be, you know, how we would know the rough time frame. And then, you know, the archaeology aspect of it, you look at the picture, and obviously Bobby Hackett is a little long in the tooth at that point, so we know that it's probably not on the the beginning of that time frame. It's probably closer to the end. So let's listen to a little bit more here. Sound is good. A lot of this stuff, when you see a record and you look at this, you're like, oh my gosh, it's trashed, it's destroyed. A lot of, you know, these kinds of issues, those scratches and whatnot, a lot of that is very surface. Look at that shine that's still deep under there. Yes, it's scratched, and you're never going to get all those scratches out. You're not going to get any scratches out, but you know, you can clean this up maybe a little bit, but you're not going to get scratches out. That being said, where the music is down in the groove on this particular record, and a lot of them, is in good shape still. So the music is not half bad. So if you imagine a series of mountain valleys or ridges, the tops of those valleys are what's scratched up, but the bulk of the information, the music, is deep down and untouched, which is a good thing. And, you know, like I said, the pops, the scratches, to me, that just adds to the nostalgia and to the fun of it all. But anyway, that's going to do it for now, guys. Let me know down in the comments below. I know a lot of you guys collect these 10-inch LPs. Over the last year, I've started to find more and more, and I like them a lot. So let me know down in the comments below if you have this one, if you have any other information for me on this release. But that's going to do it for now, guys. Happy record hunting. We will see you tomorrow.